This conference will now be recorded.
And today we'll be seeing about access specifiers as well as how to use them and what you generally know as an access specifier. Okay, I have not covered a super, sorry. So we have seen about this keyword, right? This with brackets I have not covered. So generally in a class, assume that we have seen there are different kinds of constructors you will be having it, right?
Are you sharing something?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
No?
yeah, now I'm able to see it. Yeah, now I'm able to see it.
Yes. So what we have discussed, we will be having a different constructors, right, in a class. So for example, if you declare a class A, so this may have different constructors like a parameterized constructor or zero parameterized constructor. And so for example, this is my zero parameterized constructor. Why? Because I am not having any parameter passing a parameters. By default, if you are not writing, your compiler will write. So this is what we see discussed yesterday. And whenever you write a parameterized constructor, this is the way you will be writing your parameterized constructor, right? So if you want to call these two constructors in a class, so what I need to do, I need to create the two objects, right? So I want to execute some piece of code which is present in zero parameter, and even I want to execute some piece of code which is present in my one parameter. So what I need to do, I need to be creating an objects of both the constructors. Am I right? So if I create a object of your this constructor, with the zero parameter, what happens? It will call zero parameter, but this one parameter code will not be executed. So then you need to create a constructor with one parameter. So, but you do not want to create an object just for an execution of the code which is present in the one parameter. So then in this case, what you need to do, you can use a super keyword, like not super, this with brackets. So to call the parent, another constructor in the same class. So we have seen yesterday this, right? So this we have seen, which is like to make the local variables name and the instance variables name different, to make the differentiation between them. And you have this with brackets in Java. So this is used to call the another constructor in the same class. So what I'll do, I'll create only one object. I'll not create a object with one parameter. I'll create the object with only zero parameter. From zero parameter, if I want to call two parameter, from zero parameter, if I want to call one parameter, then I'll be using this with brackets, which will call the particular constructor which I needed. Okay. Where's that again? Some ABC class I'm taking. So here I have a one parameter, zero parameterized constructor. To specify that it's in zero parameter, I can just write So this is like inside one parameter. So here I'm specifying inside zero parameter. So just like I'm just specifying this is getting called. I'm just writing, so this constructor gets called. So I'm having another two parameters. So it can be a string type or any type. We can take in dot string anything. So generally you need to create all these three objects to execute this three code, right? But I'll not do that. So I'll just create one object and I'll be calling all these constructors. Okay, I'll have a main method. So to call one parameter, zero parameter, I'll do a equals to some abc equals to new abc. What happens? This will be calling the zero parameterized constructor. So from this zero parameter, I want to call two parameter. So then what I'll do? I'll pass this and brackets. What is this? Two is accepting two int values, right? So I'm just passing that two int values, some 2, 3. So which will call my the two parameterized constructor in the current class. So what happens from this two parameter? I want to call one parameter. So which is which is accepting int number, which is a one parameter. So I'll just pass one int any int data type. So which will call me the one parameterized constructor which is present in the same class. So this keyword with brackets is used to call another constructor in the same class. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the what is the output of order of this? For sure, this three gets called 0, 1, 2 gets called. Can you tell me what will be the order? Like first 0 or 1, 2 or 2, 1, 0 when I print this statement.
So first will be the one parameter,
Okay.
and then it will be two parameter and the last zero parameter.
Yes. Why?
Because,
Yes, whatever you do is right. I'm just asking.
yeah, so default constructor will be installed, called. So once the default constructor is called, then it will go to this, which is two parameterized, and
Yes.
then it will go to the two parameterized, and there is a one parameterized constructor called. So it will go
Yes.
to this one
One.
first, yeah.
Yes. After this, it got called from where? It got called from 2. So
Two, yes.
it will go to 2. So this got called from 0. So it will go to 0. This call
Mhm.
got from the other. So this will go. So 1, 2, 0. So your whatever your this is like your Java programming language change, right? So that's all. Like it will be.
Mhm.
So you see 1, 2, 0. Any query for others? Okay. Hope it is clear, right? So similarly, we have a super also and super with brackets also. So like we'll have an inheritance separate topic, but as of now to understand super, I'm just telling what is that need of your super. Inheritance, like a little basic. So generally in a Java provides an inheritance concept. Like what is an inheritance is nothing but like a class can have a child and a parent. For example, a class having 10 methods, right? And that 10 methods or 10 properties for a class, I just want that 10 properties to be used by some other class, and that some other class even will have an extra 10 methods. So you will not be writing the 20 properties in a class. So what you do, you establish the relationship between the class. That is nothing but your is a relationship. You can have a classes is nothing but a child and parent. So what happens whenever you make a class as a child for another class, and there is one more parent class, what happens, this child class will have all the properties of your parent. You are understanding the requirement, right? So I want to create two classes, and one class is having 10 properties, and there is another class where I need 20 properties. In that 20 properties, the 10 properties already exist in different class. So then why you will be writing all 20? So then what happens, you can take the 20 behaviors, sorry, 10 behaviors from a class A, right? So that's what you do. What you do, you will make B as a child and A is a parent of B. So then what happens, whatever all the properties which is present in A, by default it will come to B. So then what happens, in B you will write another 10 properties. So if I want to make an that inheritance, I'll just write. So class A, which is like just my parent, I have some 10 methods over here, or properties, 10 behaviors. You have some methods like void m1 or anything, some properties that you have it, and you want the same thing. You want some other class which have the 10 properties. So what I'll do, I'll have a class B. So I'll make this as a child of A. So for that we will be using a keyword called extends. So now your B is a child of A. A is a parent and B is a child. So extends is a keyword, so which makes B as a child. So then what happens here, you will be getting that 10 properties, and even you can have extra 10 properties. So your child will get the parent properties, but the parent will not get the child properties. So here you can have that 20 methods indirectly, that whatever the 10 methods or 10 behaviors, which is or actions, whatever it may be, it will automatically come to your B. And your B may have an extra things, or you can override some of the logics over here. So this is nothing but your inheritance, like child and parent. So we'll go level if you have possible, I'll just try to explore more on this. So here, if you see, when here there comes super, and when I'll be using super and super with brackets. So I said there are 10 methods or 10 properties your B can be having it. So for example, I'll create an object of B, and from B object, if I want to access the parent class methods or parent class variables I want to assign it, so then I'll be using super, this super. And same way, whenever I want to call a parent class constructor, when we will be using this with brackets to call a current class constructor. So super with brackets you will be using whenever you want to call a parent class constructor. Like for example, I have a B class. So from this B class, I want to call the A class method, like A class constructor, like a B2 parameter constructor I have created, but I just want to call A2 parameterized constructor. Then what I'll be using? I'll be using super with brackets. I can do this. So we'll just see an example. Please ask me, like, by unmuting yourself, you're not clear or you're not understanding something. I'll make some class name called
Can you tell a real life example of inheritance? I mean, where do we use inheritance?
okay, real time example. Okay, fine. For assume that you have employee and A minute. And
Credit card details we can't share to the kids, right? There's example. I'm sorry for that.
no, not like that. Credit card, what you're telling? Credit card details? Can you come again?
Credit card information we can't give to the kids, right? Only for parents can use that one. Like bank details or those things.
Okay.
And child property we cannot take, right? That inheritance. Parents property will take the child, but child property
Yes.
can't take the parent.
Yes. That everything is fine. But like a real-time example, like I'm just trying to take it from application itself. I'm just thinking for that. I do not want like dog, animal, that kind of example. So that's the reason. For example, you may so assume that you have a faculty or something else, right? So faculty, or you can have a some so that so faculty will have a properties, right? So some properties like a faculty, for a faculty salary or a faculty name, or okay, you can say that some college name or something, like your faculty college name, or I'm asking about some professor, like so and there may be childs for it, like for example it may be a science faculty or like a social faculty. So they have some more specification, but they will get the properties what the faculty is having, right? So that the college name or your branch name, so some things may be same, but there are some, apart from that you will be having some extra qualifications also.
I have an example.
Okay.
So let's like driving rules. They are same in India, but in Canada there are different driving rules in each state. So and there are
Okay.
some common driving rules for all the states, right? So
Yes.
the common will be going in some class, like the common rules, and for each state we will be having their own rules. So we will inherit the common one. So
Yes.
yeah, in that way we can get the common rules as well as the each state rule as well. Like so that
Yes, you can take it. Yes.
yes.
Good. Anything, but that you are that concept wise same is like you have some properties. So what whenever you do inheritance, there is two choices. You can use that same property, like whatever you told, like they can use the same rule, right? Otherwise they can override that rule. Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So for example, you can take from India or something, even RBI. So like it is nothing but your Reserve Bank of India, some here, which is like a head for all the banks, right? But whenever someone want to establish a bank, so they should have some properties like withdraw, deposit. So all these are nothing but the properties which should be mandatory for the every bank. So what they do, but it may be different for all the banks, right? So per day the withdraw, per day the loan. So whenever they want to establish a bank, they should give these things like your withdraw functionality, amount deposit functionality. But whenever there will be a child, so they will also have that properties, but they can able to do overnight. So it depends on the your real requirement, that how you take it. So you can take it inheritance, or you can take it as you can interface, you can use it where you can do that implements, and you can take it as abstract class. So we see that concepts also. So based on the, I'm just telling that as an example, but on the real, whenever you do a real time projects, you will get to know based on understanding. So weight I need to take, whether I need to go for an interface or whether I need to take it as a normal class and I need to extend it. So based on the fields and everything, you get that more clarity. Okay, so Java has given all the features, so based on the requirement you will be okay. Any queries for others? So assume that you have a method called m1 here. And just writing inside parent class m1. So your parent is having two methods. So, and you want to, you are having a child class, like I'm just taking class child extends super example. Super example is my parent. It should be capital actually. So then obviously it will have these properties, but you can do that overriding, or if you want you can have its own properties. So for example, I'll have a method called void m3 here. Inside m3 of child. Okay, so from this, if I want to call parent class method, so then what I'll be doing, super dot m1, so which will call my parent class method. So for example, I'll create a child class object. I have a main method here. Assume that I'll create a child class object, ch equals to new child, and I'll be using ch dot m, ch dot I'll call m3 method. So which will be calling me the parent class. So what I'll do, if I'm not using super, assume that if I'm not using super, what happens, it will call only the m3 method. So it will execute only m3 method. It will not call m1 or m2, right? Because which object you are creating a child object. So okay, I cannot get this. Why? Because I should be running a main method. So it is only inside M3 because we are calling M3 method, right? So, but I want to execute even M1 method or M2 method, which is in my parent. So generally, because you are creating a child object and you are calling M3 method, which is executing only this. If I want to call even the parent class execution, then what I'll do, I'll write super.m1, which will call even the parent class method. And super should be your first keyword in your code. So first of all, what happens whenever you start executing it? So it first came to M3, but it called M1. So it went to M1 and it executed, and which is inside parent class of M1 and came it back to M3 execution. Okay. So if you want to call parent class methods or access the parent class members, you'll be using super brackets. So whenever I'll be using super with brackets. So I have a one parameterized constructor in my parent class. So I'm just writing inside one parameter constructor of parent. Okay. Even similarly, your is also having one parameterized constructor assumed. I'll tell why that errors. So, if I want to create one parameter, so what I'll do, I'll do with one parameter. So if I pass one parameter, which will call your child constructor with one parameter. So from this, if I want to call parent class one parameterized constructor, what I'll do, I'll be using super with, which will be calling my parent class one parameterized constructor. So what will be output? Your output will be first inside. So do not worry about anything. So can you tell me what will be output inside child? One parameter constructor. So can you tell me the output? First, it will be your parent one parameter constructor. Next, your child one parameter constructor. because you are calling child one parameter. From this child one parameter, if you want to call parent one parameter or two parameters, so I'm just passing super, same like it is like same with your this, but in this you will be calling the current class constructors. In super you will be calling the parent class constructors by using super. So you see inside one parameter constructor of parent, next inside one parameter constructor of child. Now why it is going to other classes? Any queries in this?
I just have one question.
Yes.
So currently in same class, I mean in same, what to say, same file you
Super.
have written two classes, right?
Yes, exactly.
Can we write, I mean, can we create two different files and then we can write one class for each? Can we do like that?
Yes, generally you will be doing like that only. So for example, I have super
Oh.
example, right? So this child will not be in this same .java. It will be another Java. So your relationship will not be in the same generally. But
Okay.
I just written in the like in a flow. But generally this will come. It will be in a different class,
Okay. Okay, understood. Yeah.
different Java class, because you will have a relationship with that. So for example, I'll write one more class. I can, okay, that multi-level. So you can do that generally. Generally, it will in different file itself. It will not be in the same file in a real time. Yes.
Okay.
We can create two class, right? One is the parent and one is the child.
Yes. So here your super example is a parent and child is the child class. I made it. I didn't get like can you query, or I didn't get exactly. Sorry. Okay. So and I'll have one parameter constructor, sorry, zero parameter constructor here. Writing inside zero parameter constructor of child. So similarly, I have this also, right? Inside zero parameter constructor of parent. So I'm creating, instead of one parameter, I'm creating zero parameter constructor. So which will call this zero parameterized constructor, right? So now if I use super with this thing, what will be our output?
I mean, can you move your cursor?
Okay. What I'm done, I'm just showing. So I have a zero parameter constructor I'm creating, so which will call this zero parameterized constructor, and I'm just here, I'm just choosing super, so which will call parent class constructor. So I am having a parent class constructor with zero parameter. So can you tell me what is my output? No, that's it.
inside zero parameter parent and then inside zero constructor of child.
Okay, see, right? Parent, then child. So this will call this constructor, right? So I am removing super here. So now what is my output? So before it happened, it came here and it calls this constructor and it executed parent and it came here, right? So now what is my output? I removed that super keyword, nothing I done.
It will be the same,
Okay, why?
because by default it will call the default constructor of the parent class as well.
Okay, so why it will call generally? Yes,
That
you're
I'm not
right.
sure.
Because it is
Okay.
extending,
Sorry?
it is extending the parent class, that's why it will automatically call.
No. What is the concept of inheritance? Whatever you told is right. Sorry, I didn't see the name. Whatever you told is right, Aman. But just the reason for that exactly. So it will, the output will not change. Yes. Why? Because the concept of inheritance is like your child is getting a properties from the parent, right? So whenever you want to get a properties of a parent in a Java, whenever you get a one class properties, one class behaviors, so what should happen? Object should create, right? So on creating your child object, generally what happens? On top of that, it will create a parent properties and it will give that properties to the child. So without creating an object of your parent, how the properties for a child will come? So here I am telling this child is having indirectly M2 and M1 and M3 method, M1 and M2 methods also, right? So it is getting all the parent properties. So how it will get the properties without creating an object? So the creation of object is mandatory to get the properties. So first of all, what happens when you create a child object also? On top of this, what happens? A parent object gets created, and that properties will be given to the child. Is it clear? So that is the
Yes.
reason if you are if you write super or do not write, so by default it will call this. So then you have a query, why I need to use super? Because you do not want zero parameter to be called. You want one parameter. You want two parameter to be called. So then you can use super with parameters.
Can we extend more than one class at the same time?
Sorry?
Can we extend more than one class?
Extends super x comma super xb. Like you cannot do this.
Okay,
Because there will be an ambiguity. Multi inheritance is not possible. So we'll see the types of inheritance and what are the possibilities. We'll see. The time has. For example, I have ABC. You cannot do this. So you have ABC class, right? You cannot do this.
Okay.
So in the beginning, it has shown the couple of errors, right? The reason for that is nothing but, as I told, whenever you are writing a parameterized constructor, your compiler will not write any constructors for you, right? So for assume that I'm removing this zero parameter. Okay. So when you are removing a zero parameter, you see from a parent, so you can see that. So what happens? We are creating an object of a zero parameter of a child, right? So by default, it will call a parent class zero parameter and it will try to create it. It will try to create an object, right? So because we are not providing any super or things, so that's the reason by default it will call the parent class zero parameter constructor and try to create it. So if I am commenting this, it will throw me an error. This is throwing an error because the zero parameter does not exist. So by default, it will try to create an object with zero parameter, but that is not existed. So you can solve like this. Okay, you're clear with this concept? Like it will be a little like not confusing. I'm just trying to. So whenever here you are doing a child creation, right? So what happens? First of all, it try to create a child object. So before creating a child object, what it will do? It will try to create a parent class object, right? So the parent class object does not the parent class zero parameter we commented out, right? So that is the reason it is throwing an error. So why? Because that parent class zero parameter cannot be created. Why it cannot be created? Why? You have already one parameter. So your compiler will not create any constructor whenever your class is having a constructor. You remember that point or not? So if you not, that gets confused. This gets confused. So for example, your ABC, your test, all are having a constructors, right? For example, I write a test class. By default, it will have a constructor. Am I right? By default, any class will have a constructor. So this, whatever I'm just taking, so this will have a constructor, right? This test class also have a constructor, which is zero parameterized constructor. Your compiler will write it at runtime. Why? Because this is not having any constructor, right? But assume that if you are writing any constructor in the class, something like one parameter or two parameter, in the test class I'm writing one parameterized constructor. So when I write this one parameterized constructor, what happens? Your compiler will not write zero parameter, right? Why? Because already you are writing a one parameterized constructor, so your compiler will not write it. So you can see that. So here I have a main method, right? So this is my main method. So do not worry, there are a lot of comments. So here what I'm doing, I'm trying to create an object with zero parameter t1 equals to new test. So you see there is no error. Even the test constructor does not exist in the class, but still that no error because the compiler is creating it. Okay. Assume that I am writing a test one parameter. So then that will throw an error. So the down point will throw an error. Why? It will tell that test 0 is not existed. Why it is throwing an error? Because compiler will not write a constructor. Why? Because your class is having already one constructor, so your compiler will not write it. So if you are not having this, okay. If you are not having this, there is no issue. What happens? Your compiler will write a constructor. The point is your compiler write a constructor if and only if your class is not having any constructor. If your class is having constructor, your compiler will not write it. So then it is your responsibility to declare the zero parameter, or you need to create an object with zero parameter. So it is throwing an error because you're having already one parameter. So what you can do, you can create a zero parameter explicitly, or you can create an object with one. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So the same concept applies over here. So if you see, you created a child class object, right? So then what happens? It will try to create a parent class object. So whenever it is trying to create a parent class object, what happens? Already there is a one parameterized constructor. So it will not create with this zero parameter, right? So why? Because it is explicitly you need to write it, or compiler will not do. Why? Because you are having already one parameter. So to solve this problem, what are the two solutions that you can do? You can directly call super with one parameter here. You're telling, okay, so this is same here. Whenever you are whenever you are having one parameter, then what you are doing, instead of creating zero, you are just calling with one parameter, right? Same way, here whenever you are having one parameter in your super class, so first of all when you create a child, as I told, it will try to create a parent class object. So here when you are having a child constructor, so for sure it will, whenever you create a child object, it will try to create a parent class object, but in parent class object you are already have one parameter, so it will not create it with zero parameter. The compiler will not create. So then what are the two solutions that you need to have? You can tell the compiler create an object with one parameter of parent class, so that you will tell with super keyword, right? You can do super with the brackets, which will create an object with one parameter. So if not, so what is the other solution that I have? If I don't do this, what is the other way that I can overcome this error? I'm trying to interlink the concepts, and it's not like I want to confuse you. So I just want
So
to make the concepts clear. Okay. So
the
what is the
other way
other way?
around is like, yeah, so you can create one zero parameter constructor there, super constructor there.
Yes. So I can uncomment this. Yes, exactly. So it will work. And what is the other way? And there is another way also to overcome this error. Yes, you are right, Aman. You are that line only. What I can do this, I can remove this. Am I right? If I remove this also, that error will go.
Yeah, that's correct. That
You
single
have to,
parameter, if you remove,
yes. If I remove single parameter, your compiler will create obviously the, so why this error is different? Again, we return for this, so do not worry.
so we have called
Yeah,
super too, na?
sorry, no, sorry. Okay, I'm telling I removed it. So this particular error gone right here, which we faced before.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Why? Because whenever you're creating with zero parameter, so obviously your parent is not having any constructor, 0 or 1. So your compiler will create with 0. Okay. Think clear with the concept, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it for all or confusions?
It's clear.
Okay. Actually, you have the recordings also. If you have any queries, like you can go to that and you can like you are telling it and just giving it. I think they are posting the recordings also. Please, I hope like everyone installed Eclipse and start practicing it. So I request, please, it's a free course, but please don't take it as a granted. So I think you are listening and coming it. I'm really sure that, but are you started it, like installed Eclipse and started these things? You have so please, because like the listening will not be comes the results, like whenever you start doing only you may get a queries or all the things. So if you want in support of some issues with installation, I can help you out. Is it like everyone done that?
So I have done that. Not sure about others.
Yes, yes. So why I'm asking is because it's a choice, but so we are spending it like 1 hour or whatever the time that we spend, we can make it as a quality best thing, right? Because whenever we learn something and when we put it a practical, it will be there. So it will be helpful. So, so that's the reason I'm just asking.
I already have like the Java for developers Eclipse. So
Yes.
is there any way that I can upgrade, or do I need to install from scratch?
Oh, I didn't get, like you have a Java Eclipse is present in your system, right?
Yes.
Already.
Yes. But you said we need to download the Eclipse that will support the Tomcat server. Like there is a type.
Tomcat will just start it up. Like we need a Tomcat for advanced Java, so we'll be starting that. So like the basics of advanced Java, and like we'll connect to the database. So for that you need it. So but you have the basic setup of this Eclipse, and what I meant to say, JDK, JRE, and you can able to run the Java programs, right? That's
Yes.
okay, that's fine. So we'll whenever I start with advanced Java, I'll tell you how to install Tomcat and all. That's also simple stuff only. We'll see those things.
No, like for that I need to install a different version of Eclipse to support that.
Which version of Eclipse you're having? So whenever you're having an Eclipse, you see whether you can able to see. You should have J to double in your Eclipse, so that is fine. So 1 minute I will just. You can see here, right? So you have two versions of Java here. You should be having it. You have Java here. I think I have another lab, so this is not having that advanced one. Okay, it is there. Sorry, it is there. You can see you'd have this J to double E. J double E is there, right? So you should have this J double E. If it is J double E, fine. You can do standalone as well as normal web applications. But if it is Java, you cannot do. And if you can try to see that whenever you're trying to create a project, it will ask you to for a dynamic Maven project, dynamic web project. These options will be coming for you. So if your Eclipse is having only a Java standalone version, so that even when you click on this and when you're trying to create a project, even that. So if it is not there, we need to install some plugins or can uninstall your Eclipse and we can do it. So once you start it, we'll see not a problem.
Sure. I don't have Java EE, so I need to uninstall and install again.
Install. So whenever you are trying to, if you are like, you can do it. It's a simple task. Uninstall this, and whenever you are installing another Eclipse, so it will give a pop-up. As I told you in the beginning, like it will ask you whether you want for standalone or whether you want for web or enterprise. So select for web or enterprise in the pop-up. So it will download that particular Eclipse.
Okay, sure.
It is very simple. Yes. Okay, if no queries, I'll wind up.
Sir, is it enough for 10 days the core Java?
I didn't get you. Can you come again? Which is enough? You're asking?
Core Java. You're teaching core Java, right? Is it enough 10 days?
To start with advanced Java, you're asking, or to start with which one you're asking? So, like, even there are some more topics.
Core to advanced. There's so many topics in Java, right?
Yes, I am not like I have not even dealing all the topics. Like for example, you have exception handling, you have multi-threading, you have in core Java itself. It's a vast, but as the course tenant, we'll see if you are very interested to explore more on Java part. We'll see. But as per the course content, I'll be telling you the basics, the hoops concepts of Java and how to write a program and all these things. After that, we'll just see what is Tomcat server and how to do a web application, simple web application, like how a Java code used to connect to the database, and how we see some whenever we used to give some input from a front end from a web application, how we communicate to the server and how we store the database. And so further to understand that also, you need a basics of your core Java. What is this constructors or what is a access specifiers? Like you will be seeing that same things in your advanced basics also. So that's what we are going to discuss. So there are few topics again need to be covered in core Java. After that, I'll just start with Tomcat and these things. So like you will get a basic idea that you are so whenever you see any new topic, for example, exception handling or multi-threading also, the topic wise is new, but the OOPS concepts is main core thing. Like you need to understand how to call a method, what is a static variable, what is a non-static variable, and so that basics I'm covering here. So with this, you can able to explore more. I think you're clear.
Yeah, got you. Thank you.
So so with this basics knowledge, like whenever you want, whatever you want to go for an automation, right, or when you want to go for your testing whatever it may be. So even when you come to the again you want to come to the Java streamline, as I told you in the beginning of the course also. So this will be the foundation for you know what is a program, what is a class, and how to call a method. So the basics you know of the OOPS concepts. Then when you start learning a new programming language also, this helps a lot. Okay.